We're often told to be careful where we consume our daily news, to rely only on what they call reliable and reputable sources, which, if we're being honest, is just a synonym for their friends in the mainstream media. They warn everyone not to dare trust independent outlets like us here at Rebel News. Big Tech even puts them in charge of fact-checking misinformation because, they're the gatekeepers of truth. So what happens when you catch them red-handed lying and spreading the fake news? Well, you're about to find out. But before I show you, I was hoping you can share this far and wide, because the one thing they were banking on was no one ever finding out. On the 12th of January, the Sydney Morning Herald published an article across their national newspapers and websites. Now, it was clearly a hit piece on a Melbourne-based lawyer who has been very vocal, to say the least, in her opposition to Australia's COVID lockdowns and restrictions. When you read their article, you notice that their only source listed in the story was a violent career criminal with close gangland ties that they themselves have previously reported on. So excuse me for taking the entire report with a grain of salt. The truth is, the only reason why I even read it was because they dragged me into their fake story. The report claimed that I had sought to enlist the support of the career criminal, that our constitutional challenge had raised $500,000, that the threats from their violent criminal source were just comedy, and that the matter had been thrown out of court. Within an hour of this utterly false story being published nationally, I'd emailed the corrections to Harriet Alexander, the seasoned journalist responsible for writing it. Now, I didn't bother bringing up the fact that she couldn't even get the spelling of my name right. So how much can we seriously expect? I also didn't bother mentioning her little dig by trying to title me an activist instead of a journalist, because we all know that these days reporting the truth makes you an activist, and telling fibs, well, that makes you a mainstream media journalist. And the truth is, what is an activist? An activist is somebody who is driven by an agenda, which she clearly was in this article. I even ignored the fact that she implied we're doing something illegal by repeating her career criminal's bizarre rants about reporting us to the ACCC. I did enjoy, though, how she ended it with, "No action has been taken against Mr. Yemini regarding his fundraising." Truly some groundbreaking journalism there, Miss Alexander. Imagine that. No action has been taken against us for our legal fundraising. Just shocking stuff. I stuck to the 4 points. All 4 points that you would surely think would require proof before running it nationally in such a reputable publication. Apparently not. In fact, Harriet Alexander didn't even bother to call me to fact check, for comment, or even for a right of reply. She went on the word of a career criminal. Again, I never sought to enlist that violent career criminal. Such an offensive lie. Secondly, our crowdfunding campaign for the constitutional challenge is a matter of public record. It's literally live on our website even now. And thank you to each and every one of you who have helped us raise the $109,403 so far. If you want to contribute, because costs have blown out, you can do so at savevictoria.com.au right now. However, I find it bizarre that such an accomplished journalist could get such a public and straightforward fact wrong. But then again, how can I be shocked? She reported his threats as comedy, especially when they came from a man that her publication had previously painted as a very dangerous criminal. Maybe I'm deluded. You watch and tell me.
Going down, I'm not going to stop until one of us is dead or in jail.
Make sure you get that rat Avi.
I won't give up, mate. I'll go after that.
You better get him.
I will.
That's no joke, especially coming from someone like that. And no, nothing has been thrown out. But guess what? It took them 4 days to correct their fake news, simply removing all those 4 lies. Make no mistake, this is a clear admission of guilt. But if you want to find any public admission of guilt, you have to scroll to the bottom, and they added a little correction note about just one of the lies. So, not only did they wait 4 days for all the website traffic to pass before correcting their blatant lies, now they still only pretend they made a tiny error in case anyone happens to land there. That's where you come in. They were banking on no one noticing what they did and how they operate daily. Be clear, this is nothing new. But here, it's so clear for everyone to see. I even forwarded it to ABC's Media Watch. That's their job, but let's be realistic. They're not going to call out one of their own. So it's up to you now to share it far and wide for everyone to see. If you appreciate how we fight back against the fake news, make sure to first like, comment, and share so as many people as possible get to see the truth. And if you want to help us in the constitutional challenge mentioned in their story and this one, please go to savevictoria.com.au. We'll have an update for you soon regarding that case. Let's actually try help them correct their story by hitting that $500,000 that they reported. All you got to do is go to savevictoria.com.au and legally donate now.